Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking your time to be part of our listeners and viewers. Raila Amolo Odinga has decided to keep mum. Ever since he announced his bid to campaign for the AU Commission chairman, he decided to leave what might look like a vacuum. And he wanted those who are yearning to inherit his position, maybe after he goes to become the chairman or when he retires, to prove it to the people. And I think his silence is very deliberate. You've seen people trying to struggle in Nyanza who to inherit his position, even though he's saying that you can never inherit someone's land when he's still alive. But it is a healthy competition. In Azimio, there is a lot of push and pull who to inherit Raila's voice and position as the leader of the official opposition party. Now, what has really made it even clear, what has made it even better, are the mess within the government, the fake fertilizer, lack of capitation fee to teachers. This is something that we've talked about, and now doctor strike. This presented an opportunity for the leaders of opposition to come out and express their ability to check the government. Now, for the better part of the day, Kenyans were discussing the ability of Kalonzo Musyoka and vis-a-vis that of Martha Karua. And the decision was informed by a recent video, and I will show you the video, even I don't know if you've watched it, where Kalonzo Musyoka was saying that in light of the doctor strike that is going on, then we need to pray so that the doctors can go back to work, and we need to pray so that people don't die, patients don't die in the process. He was accompanied by Dorcas, the second lady. And many people did not like it because when you're with the Dorcas, and these people have been using prayers to justify the mess in the government, and people didn't like it. And then today, Martha Karua called a press conference and she called out William Ruto to ensure that he gives doctors the money that they want or they demand, because there's a lot of wastage in State House. And people are comparing the two. And I want you to watch the video so that you can conclude. You will tell me, just based on that, if you are to pick an official opposition leader, whom would you pick? And of course, you've seen Gathoni wa Mushomba and her team, the Babu Owino, Joe Hamisi, and they call themselves, we've got Mwenje there, and they call themselves Team Ground, that they are looking at what is happening in the ground and they are criticizing the government. In fact, Gathoni wa Mushomba has decided that she will become the official opposition leader because the way she acts, it's like she's assuming that role. And of course, you've seen Jimmy Wanjigi also doing that role. You've seen Alfred Keter. You've seen Buzeki. We've got a lot of people coming up to criticize the government. But then I want you to watch these two, Kalonzo Musyoka and what he said, and Martha Karua. Then we come back and look at these two leaders, and you tell me who has got the wherewithal to put the government to check.
When doctors are on strike, we have reason as a nation to pray and emulate the example of Papa here. I'm just slightly older than George. And pray that this strike comes to a useful conclusion so that we don't continue to lose patience. I've seen the statement by Catholic bishops, like Bishop Martin Kivuva and the others, also calling for the same. If we don't take action now, it may not augur well. even for the future of the nation, because doctors are not ordinary citizens.
The way forward is for the Ruto regime to calm down, stop the arrogance of chest thumping, sit down and talk to the doctors. You cannot say there is no money, yet we see you splashing our money on luxury items. The tea alone taken at State House is enough to meet the doctors' demands. So let's get serious. We call out the Ruto regime for the callousness in handling or mishandling the doctors' strike, thereby causing untold suffering and loss of lives of citizens. At the heart of the strike is the plight of intern doctors who are being left to stay unposted and unemployed for over a year and in some extreme cases for 7 years. This is happening when our health facilities are seriously understaffed. In other words, we really need the services of the interns who have now not been posted. It's also happening when our health facilities are ill-equipped. It is unconscionable for the regime to continue splashing taxpayers' money on non-essential luxury items like motor vehicles, new pavilions in State House, fancy umbrellas, to name but a few. Of citizens do not matter to this regime, and that their priority is their own comfort and that of a select few. We condemn this in the strongest terms possible. As Kenyans, we deserve better. The fertilizer scandal is yet another demonstration of callousness of this regime, selling fake fertilizer and seeds which are believed also not to be good enough, therefore fake seeds to farmers, is wishing hunger and death for Kenyans and especially the vulnerable, who are the majority. The fake fertilizer haste suggests a deliberate scheme to lower food production, to increase food insecurity, in order to force starving Kenyans to be at the mercy of food cartels. It is a sadistic act by those entrusted with the task of making the nation food secure. This shows that this regime does not care about its citizens, and its aim is to send Kenya to its deathbed, as food security ought to be at the heart and as a priority for any government. Do we deserve this as Kenyans? That's the question we must ask ourselves. That thousands of families in the Dabibi farm within Naivasha can be dispossessed and face imminent eviction without a word from the regime is surprising, as it is sad. We are staring at the making of a humanitarian crisis of great proportions. Alas, for the Dabibi, it is Ruto himself who is said to be the buyer in quotes, of the 5,000 acres from a Mr. Kipkulei. The curious questions that beg for answers are: when did Ruto acquire this land? How much did he pay? What was his source of money? Because hatujui kama ako na shamba ya pesa. We just want to know that he was a bona fide purchaser. So what was his source of money? Did his due diligence inform him that there were over 40,000 families living on the farm? Because that is something that is known to any member of the public. Any special reason that Dr. Ruto's ownership has only been revealed when he captured state power? Why not before? And now that he has state power, could he consider removing the GSU from the Dabibi while ownership issues are sorted out? Otherwise, it appears that there is high-handedness when the man sitting at the helm of the state is unleashing GSU on hapless citizens who are also waiving title deeds. He tells us he has title. But so do the people living in Dabibi. How will it be arbitrated when he is using state power to drive these people away and to make them fear?
Now, based on the two leaders and how they have handled the doctors' strike, Kalonzo is praying, Martha Karua is telling William Ruto to ensure that he pays the doctors. If you are to judge them on the speeches that we have shown alone, then Martha would carry the day. Many people believe that yes, we need prayers, but as an opposition leader, you do not need to go with the wife of a vice president or a first lady and you say that you want to pray when things are going in the very wrong trajectory. You need to call out the government. And I know Kalonzo has done this in several forums. He has said that things like housing levy, when he takes over power, he will ensure that he revokes the housing levy. But then I know Kalonzo was trying to be part of the church because the church is also very paramount during elections and campaigns. They also hold a very central position in our election. But then Kalonzo must be very careful so that he shelves this cover of a man who wants to be good to every person. He wants to be a church person, he wants to be a politician, he wants to be everywhere. If I were Kalonzo during that occasion, I would have said, in as much as we're praying, Ruto must be called upon to ensure that he gives doctors what they want. He should have taken that moment even to criticize. You've seen what Sifuna is doing. Edwin Sifuna, who's the Secretary General of ODM, will call out on William Ruto whether he's attending a funeral, whether he's in church, and he knows how to put it. He will tell you that, the clergy help us to pray for William Ruto because he has refused to pay doctors their salary. And we are calling upon him to give doctors what they want. And he knows how to do it. So, Kalonzo Musyoka, as I want to put it, has been exposed by Martha Karua. And I know Kalonzo has numbers if you compare him to Martha Karua. Martha Karua does not have enough numbers. And I don't know why you cannot have all of it. Kalonzo is seemed to be a bit passive, yet he's got huge following. Martha Karua is very tough, the kind of attitude and spirit that people need, because she can easily step into the shoes of Raila Odinga, calling out on the government very bravely. Yet, if you look at the formation in Central, she does not command much following compared to Kalonzo Musyoka. But then, this is why they need to complement each other. How I wish that the opposition would come together. They bring in people like Gathoni wa Mushomba, Babu Owino, Keter, Buzeki, all these people who are criticizing the government because they realize that they have one common enemy, so that someone's weakness is complemented by another person's strength. With that, they can reach their goal. For Azimio, I know people will still have to struggle because Raila has gone mute and he wants to give these people an opportunity to convince the nation that they are able. That is it. This, narrative that Raila must groom someone. Grooming someone, if you ask me, is just giving them an opportunity to show that they are able. Let them give us more doors here. Let them call for demonstrations if possible, because it is in the constitution. Let them, prove that they can do that which Raila was doing even in his absence, so that they're not seen as people are clinging to Raila's court. They should now shelve off the Raila thing and move on their own. Just like reality is dawning on most of politicians who used to campaign in Raila's name. And it is being said that now they are preparing to go and face the electorates themselves without saying, oh, Raila said, oh, Raila ameninua mkono, or this. this or that, using Raila's name. So, ladies and gentlemen, wacha wamenyane. We will have to see. By the end of the day, we will see in ODM, is it Oparanya or Joho or Babu, or some people will coalesce together against others. It is a healthy competition, except that they should be very careful so that the government does not take advantage. In Azimio, we need to know, is it Martha Karua, is it Kalonzo, is it a combination of all of them? We need to see it coming out. I don't know what to think, but the jury is out, and you know who can lead the opposition. To me, if you ask me, all of them can. They must come together so that they face the common enemy, which is a government that is corrupt, full of wastage and dictatorship. Then that is my take.